Picture yourself on a quiet evening, a single fingertip pressed to the pulse in your wrist. Each beat, thump thump, carrying the day's residue. A skipped coffee, a lover's text, a deadline looming. And now imagine that rhythm not fading into silence, but blooming into a full orchestra. Violins rising with your quickening heart, cellos deepening when stress settles in your chest, a lone flute threading hope through the crescendo. This is the 2025 reality of Heartbeat Symphony AI, a generative music transformer that listens to your body and composes in real time. And in this step-by-step tutorial, we will build the entire system from scratch, sensor to score, using a $39 smartwatch, a laptop, and open source code so that by the end, you can conduct a 60-piece virtual orchestra with the metronome of your own cardiovascular system. Every listener hearing a soundtrack uniquely yours. Begin with the raw biometric feed. Strap on an Apple Watch, Garmin, or any wearable streaming heart rate variability via Bluetooth, where green LEDs flash 500 times per second against your wrist, blood absorbing the light in rhythmic pulses to calculate instantaneous BPM and interbeat intervals down to the millisecond. Tap this stream with a Python script using the Bleak library, printing raw IBI in milliseconds, your emotional fingerprint in numbers. Clean the noise, motion artifacts, sweat, coughs, through a 2D animated pipeline in Manum. A Butterworth bandpass filter, 0.53 Hz, removes tremor. A convolutional layer detects ectopic beats and interpolates. Then, the signal splits into a macro river of 30-second rolling BPM driving tempo and a micro river of HRV features, RMSSD PNN50 LFHF ratio, steering harmony and timbre, visualized as swelling baton and flickering fireflies. Translate physiology into music with a 3D control sphere. In Blender, X-axis maps BPM 6180, Y-axis maps RMSSD 0.150 ms from minor to major, Z-axis maps LFHF 0.53.0 from consonance to dissonance. A particle traces your real-time state across 12 emotional quadrants. High BPM high RMSSD for euphoric allegro in C major with shimmering strings. Low BPM high LF for meditative adagio in D Dorian with solo cello. Transitions gliding via circle of fifths interpolation. The generative core is Orchestra GPT, a 1.2 billion parameter transformer, fine-tuned on 42,000 orchestral MIDI files, conditioned on tempo, mode, timbre tokens, pipe sphere coordinates into prompts like orchestral, 132 BPM, A major, lush strings, hopeful flute solo, outputting 8-second 48 kHz WAV chunks. Stitch it all in an asynchronous loop. Every 4 seconds pull HRV, update the sphere, detect quadrant shifts, generate and crossfade 8-second chunks with 2-second buffers using Sound Device and Librosa for zero latency playback. Visualize in Unity, 60 virtual musicians on a circular podium, bows and mallets driven by MIDI, colored notes drifting upward, your heartbeat a glowing orb pulsing at the conductor's stand. Camera dollying in on BPM spikes, pulling back on RMSSD drops. Personalize with 30-minute labeled basslines, journal emotions 1 to 10. Fine-tuning via Lore adapters, so a 7-miss IBI dip cues plaintive oboe, and 18 BPM jump triggers triumphant horns. Export stem WAVs and conductor cam video. Share private links where therapists track mood. Couples compose anniversary waltzes. Marathon runners train to safe presto. Upgrade with Oura Ring for galvanic skin response, Muse headband for EEG alpha, webcam for pupil dilation, expanding to a 4D hypercube and 120-player orchestra. Cap BPM 41 and 80, nudge towards 0.1 Hz coherence in therapeutic mode. Encrypt with AES 256, open source under Apache 2.0. Total cost under $50. Latency 850 malware. Dim the lights, close your eyes. The watch glows green. Opening a minor lands on your inhale. Stress pivots to Phrygian sul ponticello. Deep breathing lifts to C major harp glissandi. 40 minutes later, a luminous G major ninth resolves at 58 BPM. The VR musicians bow. The score reads Symphony No. 1 in U major. This is emotional externalization at symphonic scale. The AI amplifying the inaudible until a skipped beat becomes staccato pizzicato, a sigh a bassoon's mournful descent, patients crying from recognition, lovers discovering shared cadenzas. By 2026, implantables will stream 1000 Hz ECG, haptic suits will let timpani thump your sternum, multi-user mode will weave 2 heartbeats into duets. Tonight, press start. The orchestra waits in silence, bows poised, for the first thump of your incomparable heart.